My name is Martin from Amateus Training, and I just wanted to thank Dom for being interviewed for our YouTube channel and social media purposes. So I've been working with Dom for a few weeks now, so I just wanted to ask you a few questions, if that's okay, Dom.
Yeah, sounds good to me, thank you.
Lovely. Well, the first one is, given the wide range of products on the market, why did you choose Amatis?
So I think considering there's a few different options of providers on the market, the main reason I went with Amatis is twofold. So firstly, when I was looking at the kind of the offer, so like we all do, or like a lot of us do, I looked on the BCS website, opened up a lot of the, the kind of the list of providers and said, okay, who's good, who's bad, let's start to assess it that way. I think one of the things that stood out about Amatis is that you have a great website. It's a really appealing one. It's got a lot of effort has clearly been made on it, and clearly put a lot of time and effort into delivering a good quality marketing solution, essentially. And so I began to think, if they put this much effort into their marketing aspect, chances are they're also going to be really passionate about delivering good quality services and good quality training as well. And so I thought, let's go down there. So that was number one. The second reason why was because I then decided to start calling up a few of the different providers and get a bit of a feel for what they were like. And I called up Amatis, and I actually spoke to yourself, Martin, and kind of, asked a few questions, kind of started to get a bit of a feel for how it was. And it was a really nice, positive experience. It came across that you were clearly very passionate about delivering the courses, but also bringing new business analysts into the environment and starting to train more of us up so that we can make business analysis better across the country and the world. In fact, I think globally you work as well.
We do.
So yeah, it was for those reasons I thought, they're a good one to go down, and I've not regretted it. I've kind of come back for a few more courses, so that's a good sign. So yeah, that was the reason why.
Okay, lovely, thanks. Now, you said you've done a few courses. Could you give me a bit more detail, please, about the courses themselves, your experience?
Yeah, so I think I've done 4 so far. So I've done Foundation in Business Analysis, Modeling Business Processes, Requirements Engineering, and Business Analysis Practice. I think the courses have all been very enjoyable. I think in particular, I found the Foundation in Business Analysis to be a really helpful kind of either summary or, kind of closer if you've done the other ones. It's kind of a nice end analysis, and that's the way I did it. I think it's been really helpful to kind of get an in-depth knowledge of each of the subject areas and kind of really delve into those in great detail. I think Amatis has delivered it in a very enjoyable way, a very kind of focused way, the way that they talk it through. I think, yeah, overall, I've enjoyed doing each one, and they've kind of helped build towards that business analysis knowledge.
Okay, thank you for that. That's great. So in terms of the app then, did you use the app? And if you did, how did you find it?
So I did use the app, yes. So I used it a couple of times, partly during the course, but then also after the course as well. And I think that's one of the benefits that having the app does. So in terms of using it during the course, it's added a lot of benefit to be able to kind of go away on an evening and review some of the information. So as we all know, there is a test at the end of the course, it's something you've got to pass. And being able to run through the information on a laptop and kind of work through the website that way, but also in a bit more of a relaxed situation. So, you sit on an evening watching TV, you pull up the exam or you pull up some of the course material on your phone, it's right there and it's readily available. Or, let's say you sat on the tube or on the train going into work, again, it's right there at your fingertips, it's available and it's ready to go through. I think that availability of it and that frequency, that ability to just jump in at any moment, jump in and out, really helps develop the knowledge and helps make it more ingrained, because you're doing it in a day-to-day practice. It's making it better. So in terms of the course delivery and in terms of passing the course, I think it's very helpful for that. But I think the other benefit that the app brings as well is if you're at work and you suddenly think, oh yeah, I remember we went through this information and requirements engineering, or we went through this information and modeling business processes. I don't quite remember what it is, but I remember it's somewhere in this subject area. You can just suddenly pull it up on your phone, work out where it is, drop down on the menu at the side and jump straight in and start to work immediately. And it's also, you can sometimes do it without other people realizing as well, which is quite nice if you want to come across as, you're very knowledgeable when it's all stuck in. It's helpful just to be able to pull it up. No one knows what you're looking at, so it's I think the app is a real selling point of the organization and of Amatis in general, and is one of the reasons that I'd recommend going with them, I think, for myself.
Thanks for that, Dom, because that's really good to know that you're able to use it in the workplace, because that's been something that we've tried hard to work out, how to get the training really accessible inside the workplace instead of just being in a folder on a shelf somewhere at home. So that's interesting. Okay, so the courses are narrated as well. Did you use the narration at all?
I didn't use the narration as much as perhaps some of the more self-study courses were, because I went through the instructor-led option. So that meant that when I was working through the courses, I had yourself, Martin, or other trainers kind of talking me through it and explaining the information. There were a few instances where I used it in the background. So for example, if I was revisiting some of the material, I listened to the narration. I think the narration is very well done. I think it's clear that it's been delivered by someone who's got experience in having narrated in a professional setting. I think that also adds to, again, that level of professionalism that comes across from Amatis, that you've gone out and you found someone who is willing to kind of deliver this and found someone who will deliver this for you, who's got that expertise. It makes it very accessible because, again, you can go away and do other things and have it playing in the background because you can listen to kind of some of the tips and tricks. So I think it adds value. As I predominantly had an instructor-led, so I didn't use it as much as others did. But I think if you're doing the self-study, having that narration is a real asset to the organisation.
Thank you, Don. Lovely. Penultimate question. Have the courses helped you in the workplace?
So I think the courses have really helped me in the workplace. I started as a business analyst about a year ago, and I think, like a lot of people, I had the imposter syndrome. We all sort of, go into a new role and you're always thinking, oh, do I know what I'm talking about? Should I be here? All that kind of good stuff. I think going through the courses, it's been really beneficial for helping me develop my skills, learn new skill sets, and really just showing us what we know and what we're aware of, and helping build that confidence to think, you know what, I do know what I'm talking about. I've been through the training, and I've also been tested at the end of it and passed. So, you've got that agreement and that kind of approval. So I think it's been really beneficial for kind of going back into the workplace and thinking, yeah, you know what, here we are. And when you get into those discussions with perhaps people from other professions or other types of jobs, you can say, oh, I'm bringing this expertise to you, and it's all well trained. I think the other benefit as well, and I've found this through Amatis, is that there's a promotion of, kind of speaking to people from different backgrounds, different industries, different levels of experience, expertise. And so at times you can sometimes find if you just work in one industry, you get somewhat of a groupthink styled view. So it's, everyone works in this industry, for example, agile, so everything must be done agile. Whereas going through Amatis, I've met people from different backgrounds, different experiences. And so I've begun to get a view of how they view the world and an understanding of how they view the world. And it's been really useful for kind of broadening my horizons in that sense as well, away from, just the structured course material. And there's a real promotion through Amatis as well, that if you want to, kind of add each other on LinkedIn, keep in touch. And yeah, I found it's been really, really helpful. And I've had colleagues as well say that I've grown over the year, and that kind of has been reflected by my time doing the course as well. So yeah, I think it's been really useful from there.
Oh, that's great to hear. Really great to hear. So one last question. Do you have any advice for anyone who would like to become a business analyst?
So I think my advice for anybody who wants to become a business analyst is go for it. I may be slightly biased in that, but I think it's a very interesting career. It's quite a diverse career in terms of what you're working on. So one day you may be looking at the processes and do some of the requirements elicitation. The next day, though, you may be talking to stakeholders, doing a bit of customer focus. You may be looking at what the users need. It's a career which needs a split between creativity and also logic. And as someone who kind of did a university degree in a very creative subject of filmmaking and is now working more of a business analytics-y type of role, it's been quite nice to merge the two together. My advice for anybody who wants to be a business analyst is give it a try, do a bit of the research into it, start to understand some of the roles and skill sets, and just, go for it, really. That's what I would say.
Brilliant. Tom, thank you very much indeed.
No worries.
And have a lovely weekend.